Welcome to the MYP Design Mastery Series. In today's video, we begin at the foundation of every successful design project, understanding the problem. Before you build anything, before you sketch any ideas, before you think of solutions, you must first understand the real need behind your design. And that is why Criterion A, Strand 1, explain and justify the need, is one of the most important parts of your design cycle. Think of it this way. If you are going on a long journey, you would never get in a car and simply drive aimlessly. You would first know where you're going, why you're going there, and what you expect to achieve. A design project works exactly the same. The need is your destination, and Criterion A Strand 1 is the opportunity to show that you truly understand the direction of your project. Every great invention, every smart product, every system that works well in the world exists because someone recognized a need, a real meaningful need, not just a random idea. Designers are problem solvers, but in order to solve anything, they must first understand what the problem actually is. This is where students too often rush. They jump straight into solutions because it feels exciting. But in the MYP, we assess your thinking, we assess your understanding, and Criterion A Strand 1 is your chance to build a strong, clear explanation of why your project matters. When you explain and justify the need, you show your teacher and yourself in extension that you're not just guessing, you're not inventing problems. You are basing your design work on real users with real challenges. The stronger the need explanation, the stronger your entire project becomes. Let's break it down clearly. Criterion A Strand 1 wants you to do four main things. First, describe the problem clearly, not vaguely, not in one sentence, but in enough detail that anyone can understand why this matters. Second, identify who the problem affects. This becomes your target user or target audience. Third, explain why the problem is important. What consequences does it have? Why is it worth solving? And finally, justify the need using evidence. This can be interviews, questionnaires, observations, online research, small surveys, anything that proves this problem actually exists. If your work includes these four components, you are already on track for higher achievement levels. Let's imagine a simple example. Picture a student who frequently forgets their keys at home. Locker keys. Let me give an example. Locker keys. This leads to stressful mornings, late arrivals, frustrated parents, and wasted time. This is not just forgetting keys. It's a real problem that affects a daily routine. If you were designing a smart key holder as your product, you cannot simply write, "People forget their keys, so I'm making something to help them." That is far too basic. A high-level explanation would instead sound like this. Many students report forgetting their keys in the morning because they lack an organized, visible place to store them. This leads to delays, stress, and sometimes missed school time. By designing a smart key holder that alerts the user before they leave home, this problem can be significantly reduced. Based on my interviews with 3 students and 1 parent, this issue happens at least twice a week. Do you see the difference? One is vague, one is meaningful, clear, and supported by evidence. Of course, in your portfolio, you add the screenshots of the interviews had with the parents and the student. Evidence is what separates basic work from high-level work. It is not enough to say people have this problem. You have to show they have that problem. Evidence is always your strongest friend in Criterion A, Strand 1, because it proves you understand real users. It shows you understand the people you're designing the problem for. Here are some of the examples of evidence that you could easily include in your work. Quotes from people you interviewed, results of your survey, short observational notes, statistics from the internet, photos from your own investigation. There are many other options of evidence you could give. I'm not limiting you to this. There are many other options of evidence you could give, as long as you can show that it is proof that I made my research, and here is a proof. Here is a proof that my problem actually exists. Remember, evidence doesn't need to be long. It just needs to be real. Even 2 interviews and 1 small survey can completely transform your explanation into a strong, well-supported justification. The number of interviews and surveys to take is dependent on the number of people that are in your target market. Let's look at the common mistakes students make over and over again. 1, writing 1 sentence and calling it an explanation. Seriously? 2, inventing a problem that doesn't really exist. Choosing a problem that is too huge, like pollution in the world. Doesn't make sense. Not identifying a specific user or audience. Giving no evidence or evidence that doesn't match the problem. Explaining the solution instead of the need. In Criterion A Strand 1, your teacher is not looking for the solution yet. This section is just about understanding the problem. So you're basically talking about the problem itself. Allow me to talk about how to reach the top achievement levels in Criterion A Strand 1. A high scoring explanation does 3 major things. It shows deep understanding of the problem. The student will explain more than the surface issue. The student will go into detail of the actual problem. 2, it uses real relevant evidence. The student has taken time to talk to users, observe behavior, or even gather data. There's evidence to show that a student has done that. 3, it connects it clearly connects the evidence to the problem. You show that your research supports your explanation. The reader sees the logic. A strong Criterion A, Strand 1, is clear, thoughtful, and fully justified. Before you begin designing anything, always ask yourself, do I clearly understand the need? Do I know who is affected? Do I have evidence? Design is not guessing. Design is not rushing. Design is understanding. When you explain and justify the need effectively, you build a strong foundation for your entire project. So, thank you for watching the first episode of the MYP Design Mastery Series. In the next video, we will explore Criterion A Strand 2, where we will identify and analyze the primary and secondary research needed to deepen your understanding of the problem. If you found this helpful, follow along with the full series to strengthen your skills in every part of the MYP design cycle. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.